Are you considering a SIG P365 for your next concealed carry pistol, but you're just not sure if SIG's got all the bugs worked out of it yet? Well, in this video, we're going to be doing a complete review of a brand new 2019 SIG P365. Then we're also going to be taking a look at some of the rumors that have circulated about this pistol over the past year. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Tactical Tuner. I'm your host Jason Brackney, and as I said, in this video we're going to be doing a quick review of a brand new 2019 SIG P365. After we review the pistol, we're going to discuss some of the rumors that have came about over the past year with this firearm. The reason we decided to do this video is I was discussing this firearm with the guys over at the Gundock a few weeks ago, and we were talking about some of the reported issues with this. So they decided to go ahead and send me one out so that we could show you guys exactly what you can expect with this firearm, what type of performance you're going to get, and then also we wanted to look to see if SIG had fixed any of the issues that have been reported. So first things first, why don't we go ahead and take a look at the features of this gun and to see exactly what you're going to get with it. The first thing I noticed about this when I opened it up is the very nice finish this thing comes with and the overall aesthetics of it. I really like the nitride finish that SIG did with the slide, and then again, to me, just the overall look, it looks like a little bit more expensive of a gun. To me, it kind of has that James Bond-esque look to it. I could see this being something, you know, if you're going to go out to a nice dinner or go somewhere we got to dress up a little bit more, you may want a little more expensive gun to match that little more expensive watch or something, you know. Other than that, as far as the features of this, I did a trigger pull weight test on this one, and I'm getting right about 6 3/4 pounds of pull. It was pretty consistent after 3 pulls, and it hit at that mark almost every time. It is a little bit of a long reach trigger, in my opinion, but it is a smooth trigger. It reminds me a lot of my SIG 226 trigger as far as just the feel of it. It does have a, if I can show you, a nice, let me cock it here, nice soft break, and then a pretty quick reset. Again, it's not a bad trigger. I don't expect this to be a competition, you know, gun with a, you know, a hair trigger or anything like that. I understand it's a concealed carry gun, and I expect it to have that style of a trigger. I do like that it has a pretty large trigger well there, so if you're somebody that has a little bit bigger hands, you're going to have no problem getting into that trigger guard. I don't think you're going to worry too much about rubbing anything and irritating your fingers or something. So that was a nice feature. This thing does come with the X-Ray 3 sights. They're night sights from SIG, and then also I think the main thing I probably it really didn't do much for me was the mag release. You know, it's kind of hard to get to. You definitely have to break your grip to be able to remove the magazine. Same with the slide release. You know, if you're out, you know, you definitely got to break it over, pop the mag, put it in, drop the slide, and then get back into your grip. Again, not a huge thing for me because, you know, I'm not going to expect to be doing speed reloads with this gun. It's a concealed carry gun. So the one thing that I think everybody probably is already aware of, but I'll run you through it, is this thing comes with 2 10-round magazines, one with the flush floor plate and then one with the extended floor plate. They do sell, though, these are both 10-round magazines, they do sell a 12-round magazine that pretty much looks like this, has the extension on it, so you can definitely get, you know, all 3 fingers wrapped to get that nice tight grip on it, that nice good high purchase on it. And that magazine, from what I've seen, it runs right about $35 to $40. As far as the size of this pistol, the overall length of this pistol is 5.8 inches. It has a 3.1 inch barrel. It is 1 inch wide, and it is 4.3 inches in height coming off the tip of the magazine. So, you know, that ought to give you some idea. This is a pretty small gun. And as far as weight, it weighs in right at 17.8 ounces unloaded. But that's the pistol itself and kind of what you're going to get with it. There's not a lot in the box. You get the gun and one extra magazine, but you're good to go. The normal retail price I'm seeing on these is anywhere from $450 to $500, something like that. So I think this is a pretty nice little package for that price point. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go out and we're going to shoot a little bit, and then we'll, like I said, we'll discuss some of the other things going on with this gun. Okay, so we're out here at the range today to test this P365. I went out and got a kind of an assortment of ammo. We've got a little bit of the Winchester white box, 115 grain, American Eagle, 124 grain, and Federal, 115 grain. Just to see how well it would eat it, I went ahead and got, and kind of do a torture test a little bit, I went and got another 150 rounds of Winchester steel core ammo. I'm just curious how well it'll eat that ammo. I don't expect it to do great, just because there's a lot of guns that are real finicky with that. But we have already went through several rounds with the brass paste. I think we've done somewhere right around 150 rounds to 200 rounds, and we've not had one single hang up. So I expect to have the same thing today, but let's shoot some steel and see how well it does. So let's do the silhouettes right now. Okay, so far not so bad. We're just doing, I just did some 6-round burst, just kind of get the gun warmed up. But let's load up a few more and we'll keep shooting. Now let's discuss some of the rumors that are circulating about this firearm and also some of the problems that have been reported with it. What I did over the past 2 weeks is I searched the web, checking forums, reading some articles and some reviews, checking out YouTube and just seeing what other people have found with this gun. And there seems to be 3 main problems that have arisen that people seem to be having. The first one is broken firing pins. Now, I've heard people attribute that to the MIM manufacturing of the firing pin, and then also from getting primer swipes when the round's ejecting. Other than that, I've heard people report that the original sights that came on these, the SIG Light sights, were having problems illuminating correctly. And the last main thing was the trigger bar spring was either breaking or it was causing some type of a cycling issue or malfunction with the firearm. So those are the 3 main things that I found. What I did then is I wanted to kind of see what SIG had to say about it, and I ended up finding a post made by Phil Strader. He's the production manager over at SIG that oversees the P365. And then I also contacted SIG's customer service to ask them their thoughts on these reported issues and to see if they're doing anything about it. As far as what the production manager and customer service said, they pretty much said the same thing. As far as these issues, they're saying it's happening in less than 0.25% of the firearms they ship out. So they are saying that's really below industry standards, and they don't consider it a very big problem. and they didn't mention anything about, you know, acknowledging it, and this is what we're going to do to repair them or fix them. I do believe, though, if you're having any of them issues, you could send it to SIG, and I'm pretty confident that they will repair or fix the problem. Other than that, they're saying as far as the primer swipes that people are reporting, they're claiming that's a non-issue. They're saying whether it's this gun or it sounds like pretty much any gun, that isn't going to cause a firing pin to break. So again, you know, take that for what you will. That's what they're saying. Now, as far as what I've heard that's been done about it or what's been going on to deal with these problems, there's a couple things going on here. First off, some of the guys that got, you know, some of the original batch of these that had these problems, I've heard where they're sending the guns in, like say to have the sights replaced, and the gun's coming back with a new firing pin, a new trigger bar spring, and some other new parts that were never even spoke of. So, you know, that kind of leads me to believe that even though SIG won't acknowledge publicly that there is a design flaw with that first run, they are fixing the problem as the firearms come back in. Other than that, I've also heard that any of these firearms built after July 2018 basically will have like the redesigned firing pin and, you know, some of the fixes that were put into place to deal with these issues. So it sounds to me like anything made after July 2018, you're probably more than likely not going to have a problem with. So again, that's pretty much what I've heard that's been done about it. You know, and that pretty much to me covers everything I could find as far as problems with this. You know, my feelings on it are, I really don't care for the fact that SIG can't just publicly acknowledge, hey, you know, that those first couple batches there was some type of a problem, you know, but we'll deal with it and we will get this fixed, and it'll be something that people that are buying the guns going forward will not have to worry about. I wish they would have done that, but unfortunately they didn't. But for me, if you look at other guns in the industry that are some of the most loved guns out there today, a lot of them had the same hiccups in their first year of production. If you look at the M&P Shield, the Glock 43, they both, that first year was a pretty rocky road for them. I don't think that all that was reported on quite as much as this SIG, or there wasn't as much outcry as there's been for this SIG, but they had the same problems. You know, luckily those manufacturers dealt with the problems, they got them fixed, and you know, there's you know, hundreds of thousands of those guns in circulation that people are carrying on their hip as their concealed carry every day without any worry that it will be, you know, there to protect them and they can rely on it. So to me, you know, the first year's roughly past that this thing's been on the market. My guess is all the bugs are worked out with this. So if I would have no problem carrying this firearm and trusting that I could rely on it to defend myself. So those are just my feelings, though. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say that own these. You know, have you guys had some bad experiences, or did you buy one and have never once had a problem with it? I'd love to know. One thing I can say about this, we haven't put a tons of rounds through this like some of the other YouTube guys have. You know, some of them guys out there, they've shot 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 rounds through these. You know, and you can, you know, watch their videos to find out what type of performance they're getting. With us, we've put 200 rounds of ammo through this, 100 of 115 grain and 100 of 124 grain, and we have not had one single cycling issue, not one jam, not one stovepipe, nothing. We're getting a nice clean ejection at 90 degrees. It's shooting them out about 4 to 5 feet. So, you know, so far I'm not seeing any issue other than we are getting the primer swipes on the cases. But again, you know, I've still not yet seen concrete info where they say that will definitely eventually lead to a broken firing pin, and I've not heard concrete information that shows that it won't lead to a broken firing pin. So that you just got to kind of judge for yourself. But anyway, like I said, if you guys have had some problems with these or you love them, let us know. I'd love to hear back from you guys. So anyway, what we're going to do now is we're going to take it out. We're going to shoot it a few more times. Again, let you guys get a good look at it, and then we'll wrap the video up. hit, hit, hit. Hit. Well, I hope you enjoyed our review of the 2019 SIG P365, and if you think you may be interested in picking one of these up or accessories for it, please head on over to the Gun Dock, and I'm sure they'll take great care of you. Well, if you like this video, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button below, and if you'd like to learn more about Tactical Tuner, come join us over at Facebook or Instagram at Tactical Tuner. Well, thanks for watching. Until next time, we'll see you at the range.